Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chris of Digital REM. Welcome back to Live at Lunch. And this Live at Lunch, we're actually reading a book, Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss. So we're currently reading this book, and we're gonna go into the chapter about Tracy DiNunzio. If you saw my story, I'm having a hard time getting that name now, DiNunzio. So Tracy DiNunzio is who we're gonna cover today. Okay. So while we give people time to fall up in here, into the room, we're just gonna go over some quick housekeeping of what we were working on at digitalrem.com. So at digitalrem.com, we actually just dropped a new consulting video that goes over some of the credit fundamentals, not necessarily credit management, but credit fundamentals. It is part of credit management as well, but it's just understanding what credit is and how it affects you. So we just dropped a video in Digital REM Consulting, so go check that out. Digital REM Consulting on IGTV. We have it on YouTube as well and Facebook, so you can check them out all 3 different locations. Boom. And on the website, more than anything, go to digitalrem.com and you'll find everything always on the website first and foremost. So if you're not a part of the Digital REM community, make sure you go to the digitalrem.com and sign up for your free membership to become a part of the community and get the new drops as we drop them when they're first available. With that being said, you will also gain access to the free course library that we offer to the members. So boom. All right. With that being said, if you do sign up for the membership, you might notice there's 3 tiers. There's a subscription, there's a mid-tier, the subscription. You might be wondering, like, what does that allow you to, or what do you get for getting a subscription? The subscription allows you to get access to not only the video course libraries, but then also the digital assets that we create to help our small businesses and the people that are in our community continue to create content, continue to grow, and continue to do things. Just like, for example, we made last week we just made the Instagram template that allows you to just drop your pictures in, and it has everything cut out to the correct aspect ratio. That's available for all the Digital REM subscribers, so they don't have to purchase it, have the one-off purchases. So if you just want to just get that one thing, or you just find something that you just want to obtain the one thing that's inside of our catalog, then you can just go to the catalog or the shop on digitalrem.com and purchase that one thing, you know. But if you get the subscription, you'll have access to all of the different content that we create moving forward. So boom. With that being said, you might also notice the mentorship. The mentorship being, it gives you full access to the community as far as not only on digitalrem.com, but on our server, where we have access to the links that complement the video library. You have access to the digital content that you can download. Plus, when we bring on special guests, you'll have access to those special guests where you can network with other individuals. And this is more like a classroom setting or a virtual classroom setting where you're gonna be in the course with a lot of like-minded people, and we're going to go through the curriculum and get you from point A to point Z, going in the classroom, more of a classroom fashion. So that's that. All right, so we just dropped that video. So that one thing that we were going to do yesterday, we did that. That one thing was to create another video to add to the course of starting your own live stream. We created the video, did the whole thing, edited everything. Well, in the middle of editing, I know there was like a little bit of like weirdness going on with the audio, but I went in and edited it anyway, rendered it, and put it up for the community, so it's available. But I'm thinking I always like to put the best quality out there, and it's like that doesn't represent Digital REM how I want it to represent Digital REM. So we're gonna redo that again today. We're gonna record that again for the 3rd time. So for the 3rd time, we're going to re-record this. This is giving me such a hard time with doing this actual video. This is one of the harder. It seems like I have the most hiccups with this video for some reason. I don't know what it is, but we're having the hardest time to record this video. So this will be the 3rd time that we record this video. Honestly, if the third time don't work, then God just must not want me to put it out there. So with that being said, we're gonna try it one more time, and then pretty much if it doesn't work this time, we're just gonna ride with what we got, and it'll be available for the community. But with that being said, if you are in the mentorship, you're gonna be able to see me do all of this stuff live, and then all of the video content that you see, if you have questions and questions or things like that, you'll be able to engage with the classroom as well, but engage with me live in the classroom setting where we can go over all of these things. So you don't necessarily have to leverage just the video content only. So again, that's for the mentorship. As far as with the membership and the subscription, you will have to leverage only the video content for the video library. So unfortunately, that's how we'll have to work for that. But again, like I said, I want to put out the best quality regardless across the board. So hopefully this third time is going to be a charm where we can just pretty much have it how it's supposed to be. So boom. All right, let's get into this, right? Tracy DiNunzio. All right. She's the founder of and before we even get into that, this chapter is only 1 page long. So I don't know if the interview wasn't long or he just didn't take many notes on her. But again, we're just going to go over what he took on her, and then like we always do, dissect it and break it down to how we how we perceive it to be. So boom, she is the CEO of Tracy. I guess it's an app called Tracy, but they trade like Tracy is a mission to make the resale value of anything you own available on demand. So Tracy, if you want to look that up, look it up. Okay, this is one that definitely if you're listening to this right now, keep this in mind. Anything you do, always keep this in mind. Anything you do. I think of this all the time myself. So just keep this in mind. When you complain, nobody wants to help you. So if you're complaining, nobody wants to help you, right? I'm going to continue reading the chapter, then we'll break it down, right? And this is actually a Stephen Hawking quote. Stephen Hawking actually has the best quote. When you complain, nobody wants to help you. And it's the simplest thing, and so plainly spoken, right? If you spend your time focusing on things that are wrong, and that's what you express or project to people you don't become a source of growth for people. You become a source of destruction for people. That draws more destructiveness. Read this next part. Not only am I not going to say anything negative about the situation. Now she's talking about more of herself. Not only am I not going to say anything negative about the situation I'm in, but I'm not going to let myself think anything negative about it. It took a long time, and I wasn't perfect at it, but not only did replacing those thoughts help me start moving my life in a better direction where I wasn't obsessing over what was wrong, it also made me not feel physical pain as much, which is very liberating and kind of necessary if you want to do anything. So with that second part, she has some health issues, and she's like pretty much like, I'm not going to think about the negative. I'm gonna just think about the positive, and I'm not going to say the negative or speak the negative. And then also I'm not going to think the negative. So really conditioning yourself. If you find yourself even if you find yourself like in a situation where you're thinking negative or speaking negative, get out of those situations. If you're around people that speak negative and think negative, get out of those situations, because again, that's destructive behavior that you don't want to rub off on you, or you don't want to enter your universe, right? And I'm gonna get into more of a, I guess, my philosophical reasonings why I feel this is very powerful, right? So let me just read the title again. When you complain, nobody wants to help you, right? So again, this is not in this book. This is my own philosophical reasons, right? Before we hop into the next little chapter. Complaining, right? I like to think of the universe. This is again, my own personal thing. I like to think of the universe as frequencies. You know, people like when you get around people, you're like, man, they have high energy or they have an aura about them or something like that. It's all frequencies. Like just like you have a tuning fork or you play an instrument, you can play a certain note, and that frequency of that certain note, our eardrum vibrates on that frequency, so we hear it at that. You know, at that specific sounds. There are things that are at super high frequencies that we can't even hear, that are going on around us on the daily time or all the time. When it goes to like even like things like radio frequencies, we can't hear radio frequencies, but they are in the atmosphere, they are in the universe, and they are resonating, and they're all around us, right? So there's frequencies throughout this whole universe, frequencies, right? So when people speak negatively, they're tapping into a certain frequency, right? If you speak negatively, let's say you have two frequencies. This is the good frequency, this is the bad frequency. Yeah, let's do the bad frequency. This is the bad frequency. So two frequencies. One, the bad frequency is like, let's say it's slow. Boom. This is the bad frequency, it's the wave of the bad frequency coming towards the camera, right? The wave of the bad frequency. The wave of the good frequency is a little faster, right? This is like a little like mental exercise, because I'm like trying to keep one slow and one fast. But anyway, one is fast, one is slow, right? The good frequency is fast, the good frequency is slow. When you speak negatively, when you speak negative thoughts, when you think negatively, you're aligning yourself, your own individual frequency, being down to the cellular level of your body, like think molecular level of your body. You're aligning your frequency with a negative slow frequency. You're aligning yourself on that frequency, and you don't want to do that, nor do you want to associate people that pull you from a high positive frequency over to a negative slow frequency. So break your body down. A lot of people think of their body as one whole thing, right? Break your body down into molecules. Like most of our body is made of mostly hydrogen. Hydrogen is like gas and actual gas and actual of course I'm not a scientist or anything, so forgive me if I'm not getting the terms right, but just stay with me, right? Gas and mostly like fluids, things like that, right? And just like a cup of water. If you hit a desk, you can see the cup of water start to ripple inside of the cup of water, because you put a vibration into the desk that vibrated the container vibrated the water inside. Now think of your spirit, right? If there's something outside negative that hits the desk, your body reacts to that, then your spirit, the water inside, reacts to your body, right? So whatever that negative thing that's tapping, it's changing your frequency inside of your spirit, inside of your vessel, inside of your body, right? So you want to get away from things that are negatively tapping on a negative frequency. You want to get into a situation where you're finding more people tapping into positive frequency, because positive frequency, just like in a band, if you have one trumpet played by itself, let's say a positive frequency, if you have one trumpet playing by itself, it plays beautifully, it plays nice. But have multiple, let's say have 10 trumpets or 3 trumpets or more than one trumpet play the same note at the same volume, it sounds so much louder because they're all on the same frequency and they're all in tune to go together. So with them all being in tune to go together, that frequency becomes so much more powerful, being a positive frequency. So if you just like in band, the band is a great example. I should have started with this example, but just like in band, if you have 10 trumpets playing a note and all of them sound beautiful, but one trumpet is flat or sharp, off key, basically, it's off key, you can hear that one trumpet, which makes the whole band sound bad, because there's a frequency that's not aligning with the other frequencies, and that frequency is affecting the frequency that's closest to it. And why I even use, like, let's say just trumpets? Why I use trumpets? Because that affects the whole trumpet part of the orchestra. But then you still have the bassoon, you have the tuba, you have all these ones. It doesn't necessarily affect them because they're not as close in frequency to the trumpets altogether. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But with all that I'm really just trying to say is, when you speak negatively, when you think negatively, when you're around negative people, when you watch negative content, when you do negative things, you're bringing in negative frequency, which again attracts more negative frequency, because they're gonna want to attract or resonate with each other. They're gonna want to attract to each other. Negative things want to attract the negative things. Positive things want to attract the positive things. Now, with that being said, my own disclaimer, right? This is something I noticed myself. You might notice it in yourself. I am culturally, I'm sometimes attracted to some things that aren't necessarily always positive, right? Like if I'm playing a video game that's not necessarily always positive, but I still have no intention to going out into the real world and doing harm. This is on my own personal feelings, but I also feel that there's a balance that you need to have, a responsibility and a balance that you need to have, right? The balance being, if you're positive all the time, you need that yang. You have that yin, you need that yang to balance you out all together. So if you're positive all the time, essentially there's going to become a place where you're going to not react, but you're going to act negatively, like think negatively or something like that, because you're positive all the time. Or you're going to, do things or watch things that are negative just to be like, okay, let me reground yourself. But that's just on my own thing. I don't even know why I'm getting into that, but that's my own thing. It's like a yin and a yang. Like, nobody can be fully positive, nobody can be fully negative. Some people who are negative, there are positive things that they try to pull out of themselves, and there's positive moments that they try to pull out of themselves, because again, it's always a yin and a yang. And if you stay in a negative state most of the time, then more than likely you're just going to attract more negativity. But with that being said, when you complain, nobody wants to help you. It's the same exact thing. Like, when you complain, everybody's like, well, I don't want to be around a complainer that's going to bring my energy down. I don't want to be around somebody who's not, most people even realize this, even when you're trying to start a business or start something, when you're at the beginning stages where you have nothing to show for it, nobody wants to follow. But when you have, when you're at a certain level where now more people are following, you're starting to gain more trumpets, to use our analogy from before, where you're starting to gain more trumpets, where now your wavelength is resonating to a lot more people, and now it's going to expand upon itself like a snowball effect. Just like how people they try to get nice cars and try to get nice things to attract more people who are interested or give that positive energy off. They do that just try to attract to get more positive energy to go their way, or to attract to them. Right? Boom. And that's just, I feel, a psychology behind it. I broke it down to my own personal breakdown, but you can break it down to however you feel like you want to break it down. But that's just, I guess, a little insight onto how I think. So let's just go on to the next chapter. All right. Pick the right audience to suck in front of. And we just talked about suck yesterday. Like, everybody sucks in the beginning, right? If anybody's going to go out and pitch to investors, my advice is to make your first 10 meetings with investors you don't really want funding from, because you're probably going to suck in the beginning. I sucked for a really long time. And again, this kind of goes back to what I said before yesterday. Embrace your suck. Don't worry about sucking. That's part of the process. You're gonna suck. I kind of just think back to like school, like when you weren't good at something, the other kids teased you or made fun of you, like, oh, you're not good at this or not good at that. And so, to some people, that scarred some people for their whole life, where they don't want to step out and suck. They don't want to take a chance and suck at something. But at the end of and they never move anywhere because they don't want to suck. But at the end of the day, if you embrace your suck, you're just going out and being creative and being not even being creative, but being I don't know, I can't think of the word. But yeah, just being bold and figuring out what you want to do, like in different areas. Like, you might want to do this, you might want to do that. Who knows? Because you're going to suck, but it might be something you might be interested in, so it doesn't scare you to suck at first, right? Even Jerry Seinfeld bombs with early material seen in a comedian documentary. So he develops it at small venues. Even Nike tests a lot of their new products and campaigns in places like New Zealand before they bring it to the big stage in the United States. Fortunately, you often only need one publisher, one lead investor, one X book. Book your A-list for after 10. Book your A-list for after your first 10 pitches. So I'm assuming like he's talking about your podcast, like book your A-list celebrity after your first 10 pitches, whatever, or book your interview or whatever it be after your first 10 pitches, like your practice swings. You know, those are the first 10, and then when you're ready to step into the big game and not feel like you don't suck as much, then go after who you really want to go after. So again, that's exactly what he's trying to say. So yeah, everybody sucks at the beginning. At the end of the day, everybody sucks, and really just have the boldness to suck, like, and own your suck. With that being said, I really wish I could think of the word, because I was actually watching Neil deGrasse Tyson yesterday, and he used the perfect word, and I can't think of it. It starts with a C, and I can't think of it because it's not creative. But again, it's along the lines of creative. Like, always get back into being asking questions like a kid, like asking questions again, being full of questions, like, and also always pursuing something, like, because you're just curious. Curiosity, that's what I'm looking for. Curious. Like, be curious again. Become curious again. Become critical thinkers again. Become free again at the end of the day. You're gonna suck. He actually used a great example as far as when he first took calculus. Like, the first month of calculus, when he was in high school, the first month of calculus, he's like, man, well, this is like a foreign language. I can't figure this out. And of course, I don't want to speak for people, but there are people that stop at that point, like, hey, this is hard. I'm not going to do this. And but he was like, okay, the second month, he was like, well, it's a little easy. I'm starting to kind of get it, but I still suck. Like, I really suck. Like, I'm not even good at this. The third month, he's like, I think I'm kind of getting it. Like, the fourth month, he like, I got this. This isn't that bad. I'm pretty good at this. Like, I can go on and continue to do this. So again, don't get discouraged by the first month, that second month, that third month, even if you're starting to get the ball rolling, even that third month. Like, don't get discouraged, because we all suck in the beginning. So embrace your suck and be like, do I still want to go? Like, I know I can do it. Do I still want to go though? We can still go. And if you still want to go, just keep going down that path. Like, continue to learn, continue to be curious. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word, but continue to be curious, because curiosity, he even brought that up. The interviewer's like, do you think talent overrides, like, intellect or whatever the case may be? He's like, it isn't necessarily about talent or intellect. Like, nobody's necessarily smarter than anybody else. The real place where people fall is they don't remain curious. Like, anybody, and he put it in, I'm of course summarizing, but he put it like in layman's terms, like, anybody can do anything in this world as long as they're curious about what they're trying to do. As long as they're curious about what they're trying to do, they can do anything, because they'll stay persistent with going towards that, achieving that thing. So remaining curious is the key to everything. Remaining curious and continue to grow and continue to be a student. So, and y'all know I always preach that. So I'm gonna just leave that here and wrap it up. I think we're at the time right now. So again, go to digitalrem.com, digitalrem.com. Get your membership. It's free. You get access to the video libraries that we're creating. The video libraries are not just this, but they're actually content that we create that, you know, help you do things like start your business, what links to go to, how to get your DUNS number, how to get a business address, how to get a business phone number, all this type of stuff where we walk you through the process, all this different type of stuff. Just like I was saying earlier, we're working on a video on how to live stream. We're walking you through the process, showing you the screen on Dream TV, showing you the screen and the content, like this is how you do it, and really getting into it, not just talking about it, but actually getting into it, getting on the computer and showing you how to do it. So get access to that at digitalrem.com. But with that being said, if you are part of that community, if you are part of the Digital Rem community, if you are part of the community, be on the lookout for the new video with the how to live stream. With that being said, if you are part of the Digital Rem community, make sure you do that one thing that takes you closer to your goals. And if you're not a part of that Digital Rem community, make sure you do that one thing that takes you closer to your goals. So everybody, do that one thing that takes you closer to your goals, and y'all have a blessed day. Later, y'all. Peace.